This is Investment Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Daily live streaming interactive. Featuring Mrs. Backup. Subscribe, hit the notification, smash the likes. Now, here's Backup Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Investment Perspectives. I'm Bradley Kimes, and you can follow me and everything we're talking about here at Backup Bradley on Twitter. All right, so I wanted to make a video really quickly here and talk about a few things that have been happening. For one, shout out to Digital Nomad Investor, who called the ad agency about the Bank of America announcement being on RippleNet. Now, I think it's no mystery to most people that have been in this community and in this investment space for XRP for quite some time that Ripple and Bank of America have been working together for several years now. So the announcement that they would publicly be going on RippleNet is not official, but apparently DNI found out from contacting the ad agency that they released a statement too soon. So we're still waiting for the official announcement, but it does also look like that it's a very real thing that's about to happen. Okay, let's keep this thing moving too, because we got other things to talk about. Kathryn Kohli, formerly of Ripple, I want to play a couple clips from her yesterday for all of you so we can watch this. Let's just see what her comments are, and then we'll talk about it after. It's not long.
Store of value component with Bitcoin, where people are seeing this as almost a flight to safety or a flight to sovereignty for their sake. So when geopolitical situations become concerning, you're going to want to be able to hold your own assets and access those at any time, 24/7. That's going to be a different case and scenario for something like XRP, which is really going to be useful for cross-border transactions, instantaneous settlements, and moving funds across borders.
XRP is Ripple, right?
Yes, XRP is actually the digital asset. Ripple is a company. You've got a store of value.
Oh, boy. So, you know, all right, there's a couple things here. Okay, we love Kathryn Kohli from Ripple and now the CEO of Binance America. And she's talking about the difference between cryptocurrencies and the perception of what XRP is going to do, be used for cross-border payments as the asset. The gentleman from CNBC doesn't even know the difference between Ripple and XRP, the asset, which tells you quite a bit right there. And that's how they have it written as Ripple up on the board, and it should be XRP. So that's the first thing. The other thing is she's talking about how these other assets could be a store of value and expresses that XRP used for cross-border payments. We all know that that's accurate, but you know, in order to have a store of value, a true sustainable store of value, I just want to remind everybody that you can't have value without debt. Okay? So that whether you like it or not, you can't have value without debt. You can't just have somebody hold Bitcoin and then hope that I pay $10,000 a day for it and you pay $10,100 tomorrow for it. I believe in Bitcoin long term, but the reality of this is that you must have some way to collateralize that asset, hang debt on that asset, and then create a sustainable store of value on that asset. There's many other factors you could bring into this too, but quick way around the mountain, there that is. So let's keep this moving, and great stuff from Kathryn Kohli there, addressing to mainstream media that there's a difference between XRP and it will be cross-border payments. And by the way, she doesn't touch on the fact, but that will have a sustainable store of value because you will be able to collateralize against that off the ledger and many other platforms like Kava going forward. And eventually you will with BTC too. I'm just saying at this point, the use cases for Bitcoin are very minimal and people are holding it. Just holding it. There needs to be some other benefits and properties to value than just simply holding it. All right, let's keep it going. Sir Gordon Gekko reminds us there's a $1.6 quadrillion opportunity in securities clearing and settlement. Thank you very much, Sir Gordon Gekko. Let's keep this going. Now, this is from Spring. Spring put a post up yesterday from Forte Platform talking about present automated market making and token bonding curves for games to a technical audience at Stanford Blockchain Conference. Now, I don't know what that involves, actually, other than the fact that we know that Ripple is involved in $100 million in Forte gaming platform or company, and that the fact that they're at Stanford Blockchain Conference tells me a lot, because these major universities are where you find these incubators where these programs are happening that Ripple has been really, really good at sponsoring. Another piece here, shout out to Caitlin Long, who is in Congress from Wyoming. This is good for crypto, as Wyoming looking increasingly like to deliver the U.S. Senate's most pro-crypto member in the November election. She's talking about Cynthia Loomis, just got big endorsements. So she supports blockchain and crypto. Say it for me. That's good news. Paul Graham, I like this right here. One of the things that strikes me about Brian Armstrong, from CEO of Coinbase as a founder, is his genuine interest in new ideas. He's not just executing. So really, Brian, I talked about yesterday, had an article out where he thought that the crypto space was going to go to 1 billion people over the next coming years. So this is going to be pretty remarkable watching this space open up. And I think he understands the numbers as well as anybody. Here's another great clip from Katherine Kohli. Let's listen to this. Thank you to Kathryn Kohli for this post, sharing this. And I'm going to go ahead and follow Kelly Evans right here, Market Anchor. And Tyler Matheson from the Time Today to chat markets. A few more former FX colleagues tuning in were surprised to see a familiar face, and now they're asking questions about crypto. Let's hear this.
But what do you think is behind this latest move higher?
Hi there. I think we've seen a lot coming through with the markets. Right now, we're seeing an excitement going into the Bitcoin halving, as well as an increase in the available derivatives products out there. You see the open interest on the CME at its highest, and you also see access to digital assets at the easiest level ever.
And access to digital assets, is that sort of the way that people are accessing this? I wonder if it's also, we spoke with the firm that had their kind of quasi-ETF approved by the SEC in just the last couple of weeks. So does it feel as though the regulators are starting to get behind this as well?
Absolutely. You saw Grayscale, as you mentioned, get that clearance through from regulators. You also saw Hester Pierce put forward her proposal for an increased regulation around allowing for new activities to take place with kind of a 3-year benchmark.
You see,
so
go finish your
seeing
thought.
these changes is really seeing these changes is really an important thing, to see the evolution take place and see America lead that chart.
There it is, and seeing America lead that charge. Look, this is a big deal, because she is pointing out that America is starting to reveal the plan on the regulatory level of where this is going and how they see this space and the framework they want to introduce that further defines the digital asset space. She also talked about the fact of these synthetic products like ETFs and other products like that being introduced, and how that's going to bring in the larger money. We have talked about this countless and numerous amounts of times. There was another point in here I wanted to get to. Let's just hear this really quickly.
What do you think is behind this latest move higher?
Hi there. I think we've seen a lot coming through with the markets. Right now, we're seeing an excitement going into that Bitcoin halving as well.
There it is. The Bitcoin halving. It's coming up in May. What else is coming up? Steve Mnuchin just sat in front of Congress late last week, and what did they say? New FinCEN requirements are coming. They said, when do you expect them? Very soon. What do you want to bet $1 to a donut that those requirements come out right before the Bitcoin halving? Be interesting, won't it? This thing gets further and further along. Now, this is Judy Shelton, Federal Reserve nominee. Has she been nominated? Has she fully got the position at this point? I can't remember. I know I've been waiting for her. I don't know if she actually got the seat. I think she did get the seat. Did she get voted in, or have they not done the vote yet? Somebody help me out with that if you know, because I missed it if they did. I know they were supposed to. Did I already say we are living in extremely interesting times? Indeed. This comes from Real XRP Boy, and this is quite a statement here from Judy Shelton.
In closing, let me note Jack Kemp's observation at that 1983 conference when he pointed out that any new system of formally maintained exchange rates among the world's currencies would need to choose a common reference point, an anchor. It could be a national currency like the US dollar. It could be a commodity like gold. Or it could be a supranational invention like the IMF special drawing right, the SDR. Bob Mundell gave his own view. He said, choosing a dollar standard would be like imposing English as a world language. Choosing the SDR, he said, would be like trying to impose Esperanto on the world trading community. Mundell said that a gold standard would be closer to the mark, in his words, given the significant gold holdings of central banks. Quoting Mundell, if all countries agreed to convert their currencies into gold at an agreed price, gold could serve in lieu of the SDR, and the international gold standard would provide the world economy with a common currency, unquote.
Interesting.
Let me just say that I believe U.S. leadership can and should play a strong role in helping to build a new stable international monetary system to serve an open global marketplace dedicated to free trade and genuine competition. And if the next Bretton Woods conference takes place at Mar-a-Lago, great. Let's hope it's not too far in the future.
Listen to that.
And the international gold standard would provide the world economy with a common currency, unquote.
Listen.
Let me just say that I believe U.S. leadership can and should play a strong role in helping to build a new stable international monetary system.
Did you hear what she just said? Did you hear what she just said? Listen now.
Would provide the world economy with a common currency.
Listen.
Unquote.
This is what she believes.
Let me just say that I believe U.S. leadership can and should play a strong role in helping to build a new stable international monetary system to serve an open global marketplace dedicated to free trade and genuine competition.
This absolutely falls in line with exactly what we reported months ago from Mike Pompeo, who said that in an interview on mainstream media, he said during the Chinese trade, U.S.-China trade talks, that the current administration and the president had decided that they were going to solve the currency manipulation problem, and they were not going to move until it was solved. Now listen to that. That's what Judy Shelton is saying. Right there. I want it one more time. I want you all to have this. Listen.
International gold standard would provide the world economy with a common currency.
This is what she
unquote.
believes. Listen.
Let me just say that I believe U.S. leadership can and should play a strong role in helping to build a new stable international monetary system to serve an open global marketplace dedicated to free trade and genuine competition.
That is remarkable. She believes that the administration can and should create a new monetary system. That's ridiculous how incredibly bullish that is. And you know what? This ties in many, many other things. The executive order from 2016 from the current president, right? We all know that these things exist. And we're hearing the narrative now. Look, this is not, we must be careful as we move forward that we don't hype one another up a hype tree, right? This is Judy Shelton saying this, right? We're hearing Kathryn Kohli from Binance America talk about the fact that regulators are getting behind this. Steve Mnuchin from the U.S. Treasury Department has told Congress late last week, we got new requirements on cryptocurrency and crypto assets coming very soon. These are the right people carrying the tone now. These are the right people. Here's some more of it right here. This comes from Unbanked X, and the FCA's new sector views report sees technology as a key driver of change in the financial industry. No kidding. Yeah, the FCA is like the SEC here and the CFTC, you know, all combined, right? Or the FinCEN and SEC together kind of thing. Financial Conduct Authority. They have already released a framework and, more importantly, a definition of what they think XRP is, and they call it a hybrid token. So very, very important to understand that. This was a good one here coming from Peter Voss. Dubai Economy joins hands with 6 banks to launch its first KYC consortium in the UAE. Well, isn't that interesting, right? All right, so consortium has Dubai Economy and Emirates NBD Group as founding members, along with HSBC, RAK Bank, ADCB, and Commercial Bank of, and I don't know what the finish is on that. Let's take a look real quick here. Because some of these we already know are already tied in clearly with Ripple, right? And the Commercial Bank of Dubai. There you go. Okay, so there it is. And I think we might have one more piece, and here it is right here. XRP Crypto Wolf. Shout out to XRP Crypto Wolf, the Bank of International Settlements. Benoit said the stability of the global financial system needs central bank money to be the back end of the system for digital currencies. Come on in. That's what we're talking about here this morning. Okay, so let's take a look at this because I've actually got this open. I want you to listen to him say it. Here we go right here.
That digital currencies, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, for example, are almost Dutch tulips for the 21st century. Don't they just need to evolve before the regulators step in here? Don't they need to naturally evolve and hit the mainstream before the regulators can take action?
Well, regulators are practical people, so if this is an investment proposition, then they will be regulated as collective investment schemes, or they will be regulated as mutual funds, they will be regulated like ETFs, I mean, depending on the exact way they are structured. If they move closer to payments, then they should be regulated as payments. So really it's function that matters here. But what's important for us central bankers is that the stability of the global system and the stability of any domestic financial system requires central bank money to be available at the backbone of the system. Not at the front end, but at the back end. Any backbone RTGS systems, core payment systems have to be settled in central bank money.
So does that imply, sorry, I just want to clarify, does that imply that fiat currencies, whether it's the dollar, whether it's the euro or the yen, will still be part of an underlying backstop for digital currencies?
Exactly. It will be part of the backstop because that's what's needed for the stability of the system. It may have to evolve to be part of the backstop. So it may have to be tokenized. It may have to take different forms, but it will remain at the core of the system. I'm absolutely sure of that.
Yeah, you damn right he is. Now listen to this because, all right, it's going to try to go to the next video. Let me get it back here. All right, listen to what he says here in the front end of this thing.
The perception that
listen to what he says about different products and different investment schemes being regulated a certain way. Listen to what he says about payments.
Don't they just need to evolve before the regulators step in here? Don't they need to naturally evolve and hit the mainstream before the regulators can take action?
Well, regulators are practical people, so if this is an investment proposition, then they will be regulated as collective investment schemes, or they will be regulated as mutual funds, they will be regulated like ETFs, I mean, depending on the exact way they are structured.
Depending on the exact way that they're structured. If they're like ETFs, they'll be regulated that way. If they're like another product, they'll be regulated that way. Listen what he says about payments.
If they move closer to payments, then they should be regulated as payments.
If they move closer to payments, then they should be regulated as payments. He's leaning here and showing you the difference between a crypto asset, a synthetic product that's on top of the underlying asset, and now just so ever slightly touching on the fact that, and if it's an asset that's going to be used for payments, it'll need to be regulated for payments. Now, that might not mean a lot to somebody who doesn't know anything about crypto or digital assets or XRP. But I think you and I both know that he is making a clear distinction between the rest of the digital asset market and XRP, which is absolutely going to be the settlement between central bank digital currencies. Now, he also went on to say here that central bank money will absolutely be the backbone of this system. And you can believe that. And that's his final thought here. And you know what? I do believe him, because it says right here that they're going to have crypto assets designed to have for intra and intrabank settlement payments and settlement for the central bank digital currencies, which will be the backbone money to the entire payment system. But then right here, we know they're going to be using XRP, because the Fed coin's going to make a central bank digital currency too, and that JP Morgan coin ain't going to stay on that list. That is what we're talking about this morning, and that is what he's talking about in that, without being too revealing. Another quick one from XRP Crypto Wolf. Brazil's central bank is responding to growth of cryptocurrency with a new payment system called PIX, which will provide 24/7 payments in up to 10 seconds via mobile app, internet banking, and ATMs for individuals and businesses. It will launch November 10th. Isn't that interesting? Peter Voss has another little clip here, picture clip I'm going to show to you. XRP is R3's first settlement mechanism. Just let that sink in. Let's take a look at this. R3 launches Universal Settler application to facilitate global payments on Corda. XRP, the first settlement mechanism. R3 launches Universal Settler application to facilitate global payments on Corda. XRP, the first settlement mechanism. Corda Settler, built to ensure seamless settlement of payments on Corda across any payment scheme. Nice little reminder there. That is from December 5th, 2018. Nice little reminder. Okay, now here's another thing too. Ripple Partner establishes cooperation with Australian Post. Very nice. Let's keep it going. I think there was one more I wanted to touch on. Oh, this is interesting. From Michael Val 5 links here. Could you imagine if you went to bed last night with $1 million in your Fidelity accounts and woke up this morning with zero? I read this article, and basically there was a glitch on Fidelity that showed some people's account in zero when they had money in it, and then some people couldn't even find their account. It was later resolved, but I think the point of this really points to we need to fix this. You know, if we get this stuff on the ledger, distributed ledger technology, and have their own platform, I think we can eliminate some of these errors that exist in the current markets. Okay, and we covered that about Bank of America. Shout out to DNI for that information. And there's the article there from Wise Cryptos that highlights him. All right, so let's keep this going, and there it is. Okay, so that's the news for that today. I hope to see you all in the show this morning at 10 a.m., Here is what is the day's events and the things that are jumping off currently. I tell you, this is an exciting time to be alive to watch this. This truly is the greatest financial paradigm shift in the history of mankind, and it cannot be overstated. Guys, hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment below, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care.